Hey, my name is Jake Baxter, and you're listening to When the Boots Come Off. My first guest is a production of the prestigious FC Dallas Academy. After signing pro in 2012, he went on to make just shy of 140 appearances for his hometown club before being traded to the Colorado Rapids in 2018. He's also won 23 caps for the US men's national team and made 5 appearances as the US lifted the Gold Cup trophy in 2017. More importantly, he's known across the MLS as one of the biggest sneakerheads. So, welcome, Kellyn Acosta, to the podcast. How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. How's everything over there? How are you getting on?
Yeah, no, it's been good. I mean, obviously challenging times for everyone, but it's nice to kind of sit back and kind of find new hobbies and be more creative with my time. So it's been definitely challenging, but it's also been kind of a disguised blessing in a way.
A good time to reflect and to kind of build on yourself, right?
Most definitely, most definitely. Self-reflection. I mean, it's huge. People kind of just, I mean, you don't even realize. I mean, people are just so caught up in the moment, so busy. But sometimes it's just nice to kind of just reflect of like how grateful we are. I mean, I'm healthy. My family's healthy. I mean, so I can't really complain too much.
Definitely. Okay, so I guess for the listeners, introduce yourself. I mean, over in the MLS, you're very well known. I've got a friend who is based out in Columbus. I told him
Okay.
you were on the podcast, and he said you're a stalwart over there, and you're an exciting player to watch. But for the listeners over here in the UK who might be a little less familiar, how kind of tell us about yourself?
Yeah, so I'm Kellyn Acosta, footballer for the Colorado Rapids. I was born and raised in a state called Texas. I don't know how familiar people are with Texas. Dallas, Texas. I played youth ball there. Came through the academy system there. Signed my first professional contract at 16. Made my debut at 17, and yeah, I've been pro ever since. So also have over 20 caps for the national team. Um, I was actually part of the game that played against England in Wembley, so
Oh,
I
okay.
came on in the second half, so I played a little bit of that.
How was that?
I mean, England was miles better than us. They're just different class, and we were just trying to just keep up. I mean, it was bad, but I mean, it just shows how much talent that England's producing. I think that was Wayne's farewell game as well, so he ended up
Yes.
coming
Yeah.
on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, but yeah, and then now I'm here in Colorado. Obviously, we're not really playing right now, despite the
You're back training though,
circumstances.
right?
But we're doing individual training, so
Right.
it's
Okay.
not necessarily full team. So we divide the field into quadrants, and
Right.
we have
Okay.
one player per each quadrant. And yeah, we're doing just like technical stuff, just agility and sneaky fitness,
Hmm.
and yeah, that's just how we're getting on right now. Just trying to just go through it, trying to hopefully get into bigger groups so we can, hopefully start up our season again.
Yeah. Get back going again. I think that's what the whole world wants is obviously football to start up
Yeah, I
again.
mean, it's nice to see the Bundesliga back in. I know the Prem
Yeah,
Championship, I think next month is supposed to go on. I mean, it's kind of
yeah,
weird seeing games without fans. You hear everything.
yeah.
It looks more like a preseason game, but it's nice to just see some football though. I mean,
I think it's
it's
interesting. It's more
been
interesting
really
watching it as
boring.
a viewer and as a kind of a fan. It's quite interesting to watch. With obviously the broadcasters are going to have to do so much more in terms of building an atmosphere and find new ways of how to
Yeah,
kind of build on
yeah.
that. Because, like you said, you can literally hear anything the players are saying on the pitch now. So it's
Yeah, it was tough. I think
a different way of
there was a
watching.
game on the weekend. They'd had some automated fans
Yeah,
from the presser. I mean, I didn't watch the game, so I didn't hear. But I heard there was a lot of backlash from it, saying it seemed
I think
weird,
I
and
saw that
it
on
was like
Twitter.
it was just like white noise almost. It was just
Yeah.
kind of just there. People don't really pay. It sounded fake. So um, yeah. So I mean, I guess take it for how you want it, really.
So I guess let's kind of take it back to the beginning. So you were born and raised, is it Plano, Texas?
Yeah, Plano, Texas.
So 1995, I think that's right.
Yeah,
So
95.
Plano.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
So how Plano is what about 20 miles or so from Denver, right? So how was it growing up in
No,
Plano,
from
Texas?
Plano's in Dallas. So Denver's in Colorado.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
So Yeah, so yeah, about 20 miles from like the like Dallas proper. Yeah, I mean it's a bigger suburb of Dallas. I mean, for me growing up, I mean I never really went into Dallas until I got older.
Right.
I mean life there, I mean just a normal life, normal city, state life. I mean you can find different things to do from from your malls to your theaters to your basic stuff. I mean in Texas, I mean it's big on American football. And so
Right.
that was kind of the norm around my area. But I mean, for me, I mean, I just love just regular football. I mean, we call it soccer over here, obviously,
Yeah, yeah.
um, but yeah, I mean, I started playing since I was 4 and just fell in love with the game since, and I've been playing ever since then. I mean, I tried other sports, but I mean, it just wasn't for me, really.
So I guess kind of taking it to where we're kind of both here really, and where we've got the background here in terms of sneakers or trainers in what way, again, what we say over here and the differences over here. So how was it kind of growing up in Plano in Texas? What was it like growing up, and what's your kind of earliest kind of sneaker memories over there?
Sneaker memories. I mean, for me, I mean, I always loved sneakers, even cleats. So if I got a new pair, I would wear them to sleep. I just since I was young, I don't know if I was just born that way. I got it from my parent or from my mom because she was a big sneaker, or not really sneaker, but she was a big on shoes, on heels and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
for me, I mean, every time I got a new pair, I mean, I just cherished them. I don't remember what my first major pair was, but I just knew that I would always save I would try to get like an allowance, do chores. I could save my money and buy shoes. That's all I wanted to do because I knew shoes completed the outfit. And
What
so
was
for
it that
me,
you
I
was
didn't care what
after
was on
growing up?
stock.
What
Say
was
that
it
again.
that the kind of others would wear, or when you were at school, what would you see other people on their feet, and what would it be that you were kind of after at that time?
Yeah, I just wanted to be different. I think back then a lot of people they had like these like either like these I don't even know what they're called. I mean like these sandal type things that like cover the foot, or people just had like the basic just like New Balance sneakers or just like some running shoe or
Right. Yeah.
some kind of trainer. And for me, I wanted to stand out because I mean, no one really paid attention to clothes back then. It's always like if someone had like the light up shoes, and like light up shoes, are like wow, like he's standing out. I mean, and so I mean, I was kind of getting at that age where I mean, I was kind of too old for light up shoes, so I
Yeah.
had to find something else. So I wanted something that was bright and different that stood out. So that's I always kind of like different shoes that are bright and, that just kind of made an impression for others.
And I mean, when I was doing some research on you, I saw that your father's side was Japanese, right?
Yeah, my dad, he was born and raised in Japanese. My grandma's full Japanese. My dad is half. He lived there till he was like 8, I want to say.
Okay.
And then he moved to the States after that.
Would you say that any of the kind of the Japanese in like culture and any of the Japanese kind of heritage, did any of that have an impact on your kind of fashion growing up?
Not necessarily because I mean, by that time, I mean, my dad was super Americanized, so it was
Right.
just,
Okay.
and then same with my grandma too. So it wasn't like they had the whole Japanese culture. I mean, they just moved over. I mean, the only thing that I think I utilized was just the food. So, but not necessarily like the clothing aspect, no. But I mean,
have
now I'm kind of trying to get into it, trying to get back to my heritage, back to my culture, kind of wear some of the
Yeah, yeah.
Japanese fashion brands and stuff like that.
Have you ever traveled over there?
I haven't. I want to, but I mean, it's a long trip for one. Two, I mean, the timing to go is tough for me
Yeah.
because of season. Um, because I mean, the best time for to go is in the summer, and I mean, obviously, I mean, season's underway during that time, and in the
Yeah, of
winter, I mean, it's
course.
kind of tough as well.
I was I went two years ago, so I spent a week out in Tokyo, and I was actually supposed to be going back 2 weeks today, I think. But obviously, with everything that's going on,
Oh,
that's now been
yeah,
cancelled. So yeah, I will get back at some point because it's an incredible
yeah,
place,
no, it's
especially
definitely beautiful.
it's a completely different way of life. It's incredible. It's incredible over
Right,
there.
yeah, I always want to go. I've seen pictures, videos. I mean, most of my family they live in Okinawa, which is like a
Right.
small
Okay.
island. It's kind of like a Hawaii, if people are familiar with
Yeah. Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
But Yeah, I mean, it's just beautiful. I mean, I just heard nothing but great things, but I mean,
Yeah.
obviously, I haven't experienced it yet.
Someday. So,
Someday.
obviously, then as you kind of got a little bit older and you're kind of moving more to kind of towards Dallas and probably kind of in the academy there. How was that growing up, sneaker wise? Did you kind of start to, when you started to maybe be more in Dallas, kind of what was the culture like there? Did you see a complete change to where
Yeah,
you were
I
growing
mean,
up, or?
yeah, a little bit. Yeah, I would say. I mean, obviously, as I got older, I mean, I could get my hands on more money. So having more money
Yeah,
was allowed me to have an eye for sneakers. Because I mean, some sneakers it would take me, like a year to just get one pair,
yeah,
just to collect the money. And then now, I mean, obviously venturing to the academy and to the first team. I mean, I was getting paid a salary, so I could,
of course.
spend all of my money on sneakers and worry about food later. So yeah, but I'm obviously like venturing more into Dallas. I mean, I can find more consignment stores and more
Yeah,
stores that offered a variety of different sneakers because before, I mean, obviously we have like the Foot Lockers and the Finish Lines and stuff like
yeah,
that, which had kind of the basic shoe, basic Jordans, basic Nikes, basic whatever trainers. But I mean, for me, I kind of wanted something that people didn't necessarily have.
yeah,
So that's why the consignment stores were always good for me, and kind of like the low key like boutiques as well.
yeah.
Um, had like shoes that people, I mean, weren't really wearing. So that's kind of what sparked my interest right away. So kind of venturing into Dallas, I kind of got to experience that more so.
What boutiques and consignments did you used to go to in Dallas?
In Dallas, so there's one called Base Camp that was kind of close to me. Um, there's a store called we had like a Traffic LA store,
Okay.
which is Traffic Los Angeles, which is, I mean, this main store is based in Los Angeles. We have 4510. Um, I'm trying to think of the names. Um, um, I can't remember off the top, but I always had like little spots I would just pop into. I know where they are, but I can't remember their name. It was a while back, but yeah, I used to be in there. I mean, even if I wasn't buying shoes, I was just looking at them,
Yeah,
just hoping
I
one
think
day
that's
I
what
can
everyone
get my
does, right?
hands on them.
Especially these
Yeah, because
consignment
window
stores,
shopping
because they
online,
have everything.
anything.
They have everything that
Yeah,
anything
yeah,
you see on the blogs, anything you see on Instagram, anything you see anywhere, they've got them. And just to be able
yeah, for sure.
to be in those stores, right, and just kind of
Yeah, and it was
be
just
around
something. It
them.
was just I just like the chase too. It was just different. I mean, sometimes it's cool if you can just get them easy, but sometimes like
Yeah,
when you're like, oh, I want this specific shoe, and I'm trying to find them, and I kind of enjoy like going out my way to try to find them because it's kind of like you could say just like a hobby of mine.
yeah. I think that's kind of half the thing, right? Half the game is the chase.
Right, right, right. So I mean, you look at the eBays, the Grails, to the different
Yeah, yeah,
stores, to the Instagrams. I mean, I kind of stay away from Instagram, but um, yeah, I mean, there's so many different places that you could just find different sneakers that I'm on there daily trying to just look for different things.
What's I know you're saying around when you kind of got started to get paid, starting to get your salary from football. What was the first pair you went out and got? Obviously, any pairs that you were kind of
The
longing after
first
for
pair,
years, and or what's not necessarily the first pair, but the pair that you always longing for, kind of growing up, and you said obviously saving that money up to go and cop a pair. What would you say kind of stands out?
well, I have the Red Octobers. I mean,
Nice.
wouldn't say that's my first pair. Actually, they're dead stock. I haven't even worn them, to be
Well,
honest. I mean,
the prices
I'm
on
kind
those have
of
gone
glad that I
crazy,
had
right?
it, which I mean they're like I think 8,000 now. Well, I
I think
don't
they're
know
more.
how many that is in pounds, but
I think I looked on StockX the other day because I remember when they dropped, because they dropped randomly on Nike over here as well. They just randomly put that tweet out, and they obviously went in seconds. But I was looking on StockX the other day, and I think they were at like 15 grand, like £15,000 over
oh
here.
really? Yeah, even better. Yeah, even better. I haven't checked recently. I just have them. I think the longer I hold on to them, the more money they're going to cost. So
Did you
they're just
grab
in a
those from
box
a
and safekeeping.
Did you grab those from a consignment store?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, at the time it was a hefty amount. It was like 1,000 something and some
yeah,
change. Um, but now, I mean, I guess it was a worthy investment.
yeah, exactly. And I think that's what a lot of people say, right? With a lot of like, I mean, I speak to quite a lot of people, and they're like, "Oh, what? It's just a waste of money. You can only wear one pair at a time." But when you actually think
Yeah,
about
but it's hard though
the
because
investment
sometimes
on them,
you
right?
don't know how they're gonna pan out.
No,
Like for
true,
me, like I wished I would have got my hands on the Tom Sachs, the
nice.
Mars Yard. I
Yeah,
could
yeah,
have got. I don't have them, but I could have got them. And I was like, nah. I mean, they're cool though. Like, I mean, he's a nice little designer and stuff.
yeah, yeah.
I got it for like 500 or something at the time, and
Wow,
now they're worth
it's crazy money. Yeah.
yeah, crazy money. And now I've been seeing people wearing them. Like, damn, I wish I had them. They actually look fresh. So yeah, just
I've
like
got a
stuff
pair
like that. I kind
somewhere
of
up here.
missed out. He has some Mars yards.
I've got them somewhere up here. Yeah.
Oh man, I'm jealous, man. I'm jealous.
So, kind of going back to football a little bit. So, obviously, you said you took the academy route, in versus kind of the college route and the kind of the draft way.
Yeah, no,
Came
but I
through.
didn't do college or draft. I just straight through the academy,
Yeah,
straight into the first.
it's a good academy as well, right? There's been some good names out there alongside yourself.
Yeah, from you talking about from FC Dallas.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I mean you have Weston McKinney, who's at Schalke.
yeah,
Um, Emerson Hyndman, he actually played at Fulham for a bit, then
yeah. He
went
was
on
at
to Bournemouth.
Bournemouth, yeah, and I think was it like
Yeah,
Rangers, Hibs,
now he's back in the MLS.
yeah, with Atlanta.
Who else is there? Chris Richards, he's a young guy, but he's at Bayern Munich.
Oh, nice.
Um, yeah, I'm trying to think who else. And we got a numerous of talent. Um,
Yeah,
just that played for the first team and kind of played on to the national team as well. So we produced quite a few guys.
yeah. And then obviously then you said you went on to make what was it about 140 appearances for FC Dallas.
Uh, yeah, I guess. I don't know. I didn't
How was it
yeah,
to
yeah, something like.
how was it to represent the home team? I mean, I guess it was a kind of sense of
Yeah,
pride.
no, I mean it was a special moment for me, especially being we call them homegrown players. So I got to play in
Yeah,
front of my friends and family. Uh, so it's definitely special, and it's also just being that local kid and being someone that kids look up to is really special, and something I'll always be grateful for. Because I mean, it was a blessing to have the opportunity to be there and
definitely.
to get the opportunity to put on the shirt and go out on the pitch.
So 5.5 years at Dallas, and then you get traded to Colorado.
Right,
So
right.
how was it how did that come? Was that a surprise? I mean, it's something over here that we're as kind of football
Yeah, I mean,
fans we're not really familiar
traded
with.
is. I mean, it's basically like a transfer in a way, but they use kind of like made up money type deal
Right. Okay.
with the trade because the team gets allocated a certain amount of money and there's all kind of stuff that goes in like a package deal. And so there was a package deal for me that got me traded
Does it
from
come as a
Dallas to there.
surprise, or does it like how much kind of
No,
pre-warning
I
do you
mean
get? Because
I kind of proposed it a little bit because I told them because I want to go to Europe and um, there was offers in and things just fell through and I
right.
was a little bit frustrated of how things came about. And for me, and I just told them, I mean, I've been in the academy since I was, 13 years old.
Hmm.
I need to change the scenery. I needed to find myself because I think things were getting, I don't know if stale is the right word to use, but it's kind of a little bit stale. Like my first team coaches were also my academy coaches
Right.
at
Okay.
one point. So I was just working my way up. I was basically doing the same thing all the way through.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I was like, oh man, like it was kind of getting old for me. I needed something different.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, I kind of talked to ownership, talked to my coach. I mean, they didn't want me to leave. They didn't want me to go anywhere. But I mean, obviously for me, I have big ambitions and big dreams. I knew that for me to kind of go in the direction that I want, that I need to kind of find myself and kind of have a
Hmm.
change of scenery. And so that's what came about. And yeah, I didn't know I was going to go to Colorado.
Right. Okay.
Honestly, the whole thing with trades happened. You can basically go anywhere that makes sense for them. So for
Right.
the trade, you get a package deal. So I mean, it depends on what the other team is willing to give up. So I mean, I could have been anywhere.
Yeah.
But I'm grateful I've been to Colorado. I mean, the city's nice. I've been
Yeah.
adapting. I've been seeing mountains. I've never seen mountains before until I got here. I haven't really seen snow either until I got here. I've only seen like snow like a few times in my life, and then here I've seen it, a bunch of times. But yeah, it's been nice. The weather's nice. People are cool. I mean, it's
Yeah.
calm and chill. I've been enjoying it.
Nice. So, I mean, I was when I was doing the a bit of reading before. I saw in 2018? Someone, I think there's an article with yourself, and it was someone asking how many pairs you had then and what your collection was then. I think you said kind of about 200 pairs. So, kind of where you at now? Kind of 2 years later, where?
200. Nah. I mean, I've given some away, but I'm probably
Nice.
close to a few hundred, probably 3, maybe.
What does it consist of? Is it? I know you said you like to kind of get the ones that people don't have and the ones that stand out. Kind of, is it?
Yeah. So I mean, I'm a Nike athlete, so I have a lot of
Right.
Nikes.
Okay.
So I mean, I'm not really into Jordans like that, but I mean, my favorite pairs are ones. So
Okay.
I have lows and highs. So I mean, I have like the Breds, Chicago's, the
Hmm.
Royals, Shadows.
Nice.
Um,
All the classics, right?
yeah, all the classics.
What about mids?
Then I mean,
What are the view on mids
nah,
over there?
mids are not for me. There's in the states the mids has like a
Yeah, yeah.
stereotype
I think
that
it's similar over here, really. Like, they can
mids.
drop a mid in a Chicago colorway, and it will sit on the shelves and go in the
Yeah,
sale
I'm
for.
yawning. I'm like, yeah, another drop. Yeah, not for me. Um, but yeah, I mean, I see. I mean, I see what you got back there. I mean, fours. I don't really have fours. I
Fours
have
are
the
what got me
dunks.
into it, to be honest. It's fours are one of the
Really.
yeah, they're one of the pairs that the
See,
white cements.
oh yeah, okay, fair enough, fair enough. I mean for me, I appreciate the aesthetic of the shoe, but for me, like I'm a skinnier dude, so some of
Mm,
those shoes that are bulky, I feel like when I look down, they look weird on me.
right.
So that's why I kind of venture away from a lot of those.
Yeah. Whereas the
So
ones have a bit more kind of a slimmer kind of
yeah,
profile,
they're
don't
more
they? They work
slimmer.
better.
So
Yeah.
even like I like threes as well, but I think they're the same as the fours, a little bit bulky, but I like the way that they look. I
Yeah.
like the
No,
way
I'm
that they look
similar
on
with them.
people.
I'm similar with Freeze. They're kind of a strange one because, like you said, they look good. I love them. Like just to have them, but then when you put them on your feet, I never feel comfortable wearing them. They're a
Yeah,
strange
I mean that's
shoe.
how I am. I'm like, yeah, they look kind of weird. And I end up taking them off. Like I have the white cements, but they're
Nice.
from like I don't even know 2001 or something
Right.
like
Okay.
that. I got like some yellowing on. I've only worn
Yeah.
them
Yeah.
once because I'm so self conscious of wearing them because I'm like, man, like they look kind of weird on me, but they're just a fresh shoe. Um, but yeah, but yeah, like
What's
you said,
your?
I mean, I got a lot of Nikes. I got
Nice.
I got some designer shoes as well. I'm
Do you
trying to
get the
think.
Do you get the care package from Nike, being a Nike athlete?
Yeah, I mean, it just depends. I mean, certain things. Some of the collabs are a little bit harder to get.
Yeah.
Cause it depends on who they're collabing with. So they're kind of stingy on who kind of just gets them. But I mean, if I like the shoe, I'll more than likely get my hands on them.
Nice. Nice. What's your current rotation look like? Obviously, with the whole world's kind of been in lockdown, have been in quarantine. Have you been wearing slippers? Have you
Yeah.
been wearing house shoes? What's it been? What have you been wearing
Yeah, I
recently?
mean, house shoes around the house. I mean, I got my Uggs that are just comfortable. Trying to think what else I got. I mean, kind of just beaters. Just kind of, I'm just lounging around, hanging out, stuff that I can go in for a run. I haven't really gotten like dressed up like that, so I
Yeah.
don't have to put on my sneakers. So I'm just kind of just wearing just whatever shoes. I've been big on a shoe called Vejas.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't know
Yeah.
if you guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they're just a nice little leather shoe that I just kind of just slip on and be on my way. So that's kind of
Nice.
been my everyday shoe. So I got a few colors of those I kind of just throw on and um, just get out the house with.
What kind of shoes have you been most excited about recently? Like what's dropped recently that you've made that call, or you've, like you said, obviously usually if there's something that you like, you'll
Oh,
get it.
I'm trying to think. I like the Sakai's. I mean, obviously it's not
Nice.
like recent, but I like the whole aesthetic of the shoe. I think it's different. I think it's cool.
These ones.
Changing the game a little bit. Yeah, no, I don't have those ones, but I have the what are the two colors, three colors. I have the other three
Mm.
colors. Um,
Something
I mean,
different.
I really
Like you
like
said,
what Virgil's doing. Virgil's doing this thing with all his collection. I got most of them as well too.
nice.
Um,
Obviously,
but
I
as
guess
of
been
recent, I haven't really. Things been slowing down a little bit because so much uncertainty with everything. So I haven't
yeah,
really
yeah.
been. Um, but I don't have them yet. But I need to get my hands on the Stussies, the Stussies. I
Okay.
don't know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The
Yeah, so I need
Spiridons.
to.
Yeah,
Yeah, Spirit. I need to get my hands on
nice.
those.
They
Those are
they went over
fire.
here in seconds.
Oh yeah, they're
All
gone
three
here.
colorways went like so
But I think on
quickly.
Grail they're not that much. I think they're like a couple hundred on
Nice.
Grail or a few hundred. So it's not too bad. It's just a matter of me just pulling the trigger and grabbing them.
Obviously, then, so obviously being a soccer player, being a footballer, obviously you get to travel around a lot. What are your favorite cities that you've hit for shopping for sneakers?
Toronto,
Nice.
LA, obviously,
Hmm.
and New York, obviously. I mean the meccas of all the brands and fashion. But Toronto, so low-key surprised me. They got some stores that had some heat, so I was pleasantly surprised, but I was happy that I got to experience that. So every time I go to Toronto, like I just can't wait.
Yeah.
I bring a bigger bag, so I know I'm gonna buy some stuff, some clothes and some shoes.
What about overseas? Have you visited any overseas?
Overseas,
Any
I
of the
mean, yeah, I mean, I appreciate London, Paris as well.
yeah.
Uh, I mean, those
Paris
are
has
the
got some
places
great stuff.
oh yeah, most definitely. I mean, I would say London because I mean, I go to London a lot. And
Right.
so, I mean, there's tons of different places that I kind of just wherever I'm at, kind of just look up and just see what's going on. I mean, I'd never heard of Selfridges until I got over there,
Right.
and
Okay.
I had a field day up there, and I was like, man, what is this? Like, we
You've got
don't
that
have
whole
those in the
floor,
States.
right? You've got that whole floor where you've got all
Yeah,
the designer
yeah,
stuff. You've got Offspring there. You've got a few
yeah.
different spots there.
I've never heard of it, honestly,
Really?
never until I got there, and then I was like, man, this department store is amazing. We need this in the States.
Which other spots do you hit up when you come over to London? Is there any that obviously now it's going to be Selfridges going forward, but kind of is there any other stores that
Yeah, I
you
mean,
were looking at?
I can't think off the top of my head. It's because um, down in like I guess I don't know what it's called. Um, there's just like a street with all the shops,
I mean,
and
in
they got
like
like some
yeah,
boutiques.
you've got obviously like Oxford Street through the middle where you've got all your kind of your main
What's
stores,
it
and you've got
called?
Oxford Street.
Yeah, yeah, that's what it's called. Yeah,
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 they have
that's where
big
Selfridges
stores.
is.
Yeah, and then like I kind of I don't really know what I was just kind of just walking around looking at stuff because I
Yeah.
stayed at a hotel around there, and then I
Right.
don't know
Okay.
what you guys call nicer area that has like all the designer stuff.
There's you've got Mayfair, which is
Yeah, Mayfair.
yeah, they've got all the kind of the designer spots, and you've got Soho, which is your kind of
Yeah,
more.
Soho. That's what I was looking. Soho has like
That's where all your
this.
boutiques are. Yeah, you've got
Yeah,
like your Foot
Soho. I
Patrol
wasn't
and
sure if you guys called it Soho because we have a Soho in New York, so I
yeah,
was trying to not.
yeah, yeah. No, it's Soho over here. That's where you've got kind of like your end clothing, your size, and Foot Patrol and spots like that
Yeah,
over here.
yeah. I mean, I felt like I was in New York over there, honestly. I
Yeah,
mean,
no,
we
it's
got
very
some stores
similar.
like
It's
that.
very similar. It's kind of
Right,
similar
right.
vibe and um. So have you always been the kind of the guy in the changing room with like the freshest kicks and picking up all the latest kicks, or who can
Yeah,
kind of
I
match
mean,
Kellyn Acosta in the kind of the shoe game over there?
right now, you're talking about just on my team.
Yeah,
On my team, I mean, I would say last year. I mean, I say Tim Howard had a lot of the nice kicks. He's pretty cultured. I mean, him traveling around the world, he appreciates fashion, so he has
yeah,
a good selection of shoes. And I got this year on my team. His name is Eunice Nomley, who has quite a good collection as well of different shoes that he wears. Trying to think. Um, Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. That people that are really invested in the shoe game. I mean, and then my friend John Lewis, he's a little bit into shoes as well. So he has a little bit of um heat. I mean, he's an Adidas athlete, so he got like the Yeezys and
Right.
stuff.
Okay.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, he got those. So
What's your
I'll
What's your
give it
view
up
on
to
them?
him.
What's your view on the Yeezy in
Yeezys.
terms of the overall?
I personally don't like the new ones except for the what are they called, the wave runners or something?
Yeah.
Wave
Yeah.
runners.
Yeah.
I like those. I like the aesthetic of those. But like the newer ones, I don't like. I like the old ones that came like the turtle doves and the pirate blacks and
Yeah. Yeah.
that kind of style. Um, I like those. I actually had the 750s. I had both colorways for a little bit.
They're a hard one
Just,
to wear.
just
They're a
you
tough.
can't even. It's so hard. You can't even put your foot in it.
Yeah, I know. I've
I,
had a pair for a long while, and I think I've worn them once, and they've been in the box ever since
yeah,
because
I mean,
they're just hard to
I
style. Or
broke one of them. I broke the zipper because I was trying to get my foot in it, and I couldn't get my foot in it. And I broke the zipper, so I mean, they're just chilling in my closet. But I really like I mean, obviously the first Yeezy, the Nike ones.
yeah,
Uh,
I think the Nike ones
obviously
have they're just kind of
crazy,
untouched compared to the Adidas
crazy.
ones. I think, like you said, there's a couple
Yeah,
of pair of the Adidas ones, like the Wave Runners, some of the 500s that are nice, but I think the Nike ones
yeah.
will kind of they'll live forever.
It's just one of those things. I'm like, it depends on the person. So I see someone wearing them, like, okay, I like those.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
then like, but I just don't appreciate the fact that I liked them before when only select few people could get them,
hmm
and so like only the real sneakerheads that are kind of more put together. Not
yeah,
really the hype beat, but more of like the people that are put together were wearing them. And now I've seen just anyone and everyone
yeah,
in them,
yeah.
and I'm just they just kind of got old and kind of lame quick to me.
I think that's what happened with the 350. They really, I mean, I think every weekend now there's a new colorway of them
Yeah,
coming
that's what.
out, and
Yeah, the
it's
350s. Yeah,
there's a new colorway every
yeah.
weekend, and it's
And yeah, they make a ton of them, so everyone has them. It's just like, man, like it's kind of just getting old.
I saw when I was just looking through some photos, and I think some of the couple ones you sent me as well. I saw you at the Nuggets game with those custom Air Force Ones.
Yeah, I
The
think those are one of ones. Yeah, they gave them to me. They knew I was into
nice.
shoes, so or
That was
maybe
just,
maybe there's one of twos. One of that. I mean, there's only maybe a couple made, but
they were
yeah,
the
I still
Skyline
have
jersey
them.
ones, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
They look nice. They look.
They're
What's your like
nice.
general view of customs? Because they customs seem to be like a kind of thing that splits people down the middle. People either like a custom and kind of appreciate a custom, or they
Yeah, I
just see them
mean,
as
I think the only customs that I would appreciate is from the shoe surgeon. I
yeah,
mean,
yeah.
he makes
His stuff's
some
unreal.
crazy. Yeah.
I think it's just the materials he
But I
uses as
mean,
well, and
yeah, no, I mean,
everything he
he
uses is
does his
unbelievable.
thing, and it's just handmade, hand stitched, which I kind of
Yeah, yeah.
appreciate the process and all that. I mean, that's what makes a shoe so great. I mean, other than that, I mean, I don't necessarily care for customs.
Okay.
Um, I mean, I just like the regular shoe. Um, so I
So
mean, that's kind of just my really viewpoint. I mean, I
yeah,
don't. I don't really care to go out my way to, mix three different shoes or have. I mean, if
yeah,
I could
yeah.
have like my own shoe, I mean, that'd be a different
So
story.
you've
but
taken my next question. That is from the questions I've got written down. I've got the next one, which I want to ask kind of anyone who comes on here. So if you had the opportunity to create your own shoe, what would it be, or what would it look like, and what inspiration would it take?
I mean, that's tough. I think I told you before. I mean, I really appreciate what Virgil's doing.
hmm
So I mean, I would kind of try to take his aesthetic where he's kind of taking an older model of another shoe and kind of making it his own.
Yeah.
And I think I would kind of try to do the same. I think I don't know which base model I would use exactly, but um, yeah, I think I would do something similar to him.
But then what kind of inspirations would you use? What would you want to? What story would you want to tell through the shoe? Would it be kind of from where you grew up, where you kind of came through? What would be the story you'd want to tell through the shoe?
Oh man, tough question. I mean, not necessarily because I mean, I want something that's gonna stand out, that people are gonna admire, people that are gonna like. that something that's kind of crazy, that's crazy and that's going to drive away the normal people, but just enough where the people that are really into fashion are going to enjoy. I think that's kind of like what Virgil's doing, and kind of like what the was before, that it was a different shoe that is kind of crazy, that kind of drove away the normal person, but I mean, crazy enough for the sneakerhead to really appreciate the value.
To appreciate what it means and what it kind of what you're trying to do with it.
Appreciate like just like the aesthetic and just the work that you put in, the details, the little aspect of the shoe that people don't really see. Because some people look at shoes like, oh, those are some Nikes, and I'm like, no, these aren't just Nikes. These are, these are.
I guess
whatever.
the norm, and I think it's easy, isn't it, as a as a sneakerhead as such, to forget that people just see him as a trainer. They look at it and just see a Nike swoosh and go, oh, you got another pair of Nikes.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you have like I don't know what your dunks, the purple dunks you have. I mean, people are like, oh, those are just some Nikes or whatever, skateboarding shoes.
Yeah.
Yeah, the FBs or whatever. And I'm like, no, man, these, you don't even know what these are. These, you have the denim 4s behind you, or like the ones.
They're the Levi 4s.
Yeah, the Levi's. Yeah, so I mean,
they've been hard to wear as well.
They're just some Jordans.
They're a hard pair to wear. Just because it's.
I mean,
the color of the denim, you can't double denim.
You gotta wear like probably some black jeans or something. Something light jeans.
So what's next for Kellyn Acosta, and what kind of where do you want to go? I mean, I know you said earlier about kind of a potential move to Europe. I saw, looking over here, you were linked with a few clubs in England. What's next?
Yeah,
what do you want to do?
That'd be a dream.
Yeah,
I want to play in Europe. I mean, that's always been my dream as a boy coming through. I mean, the Prem is what I watch on the weekends. I mean, it was what I watched before previously.
Yeah, you're a Chelsea fan, right?
Going on. Yeah, Chelsea fan.
Nice.
Yeah, so I mean, that would definitely be a dream. I mean, obviously England, I'm not opposed to going anywhere else, but England would probably be the easiest transition in terms of just living.
Yeah, culture-wise.
I mean, obviously the football is big, but if you're not enjoying life outside of football, I think that kind of carries onto the field. So I think for me to really enjoy everything, I think England would be the easiest transition, obviously with the language being one, food being another, and then just the overall culture. I think I could adapt the easiest.
So what happened with the move? I mean, like I said, I read that you were linked with a club over here. I mean, they didn't say which club it was that you were linked with.
I mean, they just wanted more money. And,
right. Okay.
I mean, it came down to deadline day, and it just didn't work out. And obviously, it was frustrating because I mean, that's my dream. I mean, all I'm looking for is just the opportunity. I mean, for Americans, it's hard getting to Europe because teams have to take a chance.
Yeah.
But I mean, luckily we have guys that are paving the way for a lot of us and doing well over there. So they're having their eyes more so on Americans. So, so for me, I mean, I'm just trying to hopefully when the season's underway, work hard, do well, and hopefully the team takes notice of me and wants to buy me. So we'll see how that goes.
That's a shout out to any of the UK listeners, anyone in football listening.
Right.
Kellyn Acosta.
If they're a scout or whatever, have some kind of ties, let me know.
So, last kind of thing. Where can people find you? Let people know where they can find you on Twitter and Instagram, and before we get out of here.
Yeah, I mean, my name is basically Kellyn Acosta, Kellyn, Acosta, Acosta. Yeah, you can find me Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, K.ELLL. I think there's either 3 or 4 L's. I don't know. Try one of them. Add me on Snapchat. I post from time to time. I show sometimes what I'm wearing for the day. If you guys are into fashion, see what I'm rocking. And I mean, that's pretty much it, really.
Nice. Okay. Well, thanks for coming on. I appreciate you taking the time to come on. I know that it's early morning there for you, and you're off to training anytime soon. So I really appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, thanks for having me. It's nice to kind of talking to someone about sneakers, and we actually appreciate sneakers. So yeah, thanks for having me on. I enjoyed it.
So there we are. Episode 1 is done. This has been something that's been I've been waiting to do since probably 2013. I think it was. I had the first idea for this, so it's great to finally get the first episode out. Hope you all enjoyed it. I just want to thank Kellyn again for coming through and having a great conversation about kind of football and about sneakers. And I hope you like the first episode. Remember to subscribe wherever you're listening. Therefore, you'll get the notification next time an episode drops. Follow us on Twitter and on Instagram at WTBCOFF. So when the boots come off, again, all the links are below. And hope to see you back here soon for episode 2.